since you was a former Sanso Ababio, Yamon Komo High, all sports GH with YouTube, and of course, what Darama only said me news yes by this time say the Anamini Minia Biggie. Minia Bibia say dear. Fantastic. Nyamia Domwa 2026 June 11. Pepe do refiabo na World Cup no as so USA, Canada, Mexico. Biggie, me no can say finally mascots no enya babon thing. World Cup mascots. Enya bad no one say yati World Cup anymore. Into no Canada dia no ene din kan is Maple. And green one no Mexico. No so say Zavu. I would have to go and look at what it means. And I'm say why you are now menino. Say why? It's Zayu, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's Zayu. Okay. It's Jaguar. Somebody Jaguar na Zayu. Okay, Jaguar. And the other one here clutch. And also Eagle. Eagle clutch. And the USF one so use.
There's a Ghana mascot no.
Say
yeah, US.
Okay.
Yeah, mascot in it. And that's Canada.
Auntie, if you feeling count. If you feeling count.
It's a Jaguar, Jata, Sebo, Omochichini Paris.
Into one said I'm pet. Into say, walk up, no? Say, they get no. You book when you drew.
Sure.
The
first World Cup I ever born in heaven. And after so many years, after USA 94, I feel yes, everybody.
At the France, in heaven. And other countries say who's still in heaven.
So almost
Germany in heaven.
US, I'll call heaven 5 miles. I'm say just in a hop on a bang.
I want to be heaven. And Canada so being power
US.
Only me in
Canada baby 7 miles.
Okay. And the Ghana bang
hey.
Sir,
I'm just to Ghana. We to be out an empire body soon in the BBA tab black stars. Say
World Cup in the Yaba into World Cup fever. No, Nyamia Tumwa. You know, the last round of games, especially for Africa. Now, other continents, the Obianim said the Omama qualified no moon that.
Brazil next month. October.
Brazil crown on the ball friendly match. I think say more arrange friendly match be on November na October more. I think say the person more arrange friendly match be na omo per African country back Matisa.
Okay.
And person more born either some bo UK and now some bo mainstream Europe countries more back.
And also ever call World Cup now. You have to get these kind of experiences.
Yeah.
Because a World Cup ni kwa kobo. Enye Copa America na Brazil like I say we bia onimomo ade bi oni omusi akan e wo South America. Ene ade debi we know a World Cup nti possible say ubenya an African country e wo group mu. Ubenya an Asian country wo group mu, European country nti you have to get experiences from all these countries by playing them. At least ebia se Ghana qualify na yemfa na say and I mean for ebia country are unqualify. Ebi point man say Uganda unqualify for the World Cup. It's an example. Na Brazil enya akonya na obo Uganda in a friendly game. Na yemfa na say Ghana qualifier. Enya Ghana na on the boy. But at least obo Uganda na there you've gotten an experience, a fair idea about how these Africans play. Enti ebe hia so
we me quantity information no pa no. Me source ema me yawes omo pe country a qualify. Inti sa Ghana Football Association mo be ya wada ka mo din komo nko ho.
Si yenyan qualify.
Oh say ye dey nice kwanso ya qualifier.
Yenyan qualify.
Oh inti no
banka Brazil si ya dey kwaku.
Oh debi mami mintial yen kwafo ne na so because Ghana for be person nka Ghana and Brazil ne ye bobo no UK a. Wo hu.
Kenya bad.
Inti me share mo jefe for no nya wa because me matise omo pe Africa country.
But you probably represent Africa ye di anke mfa Morocco mo.
Oh, me ye dey say na dey World Cup wo kwaje. Yeah, the Echo be keke. I think what can it say the year prepare kwaji World Cup. Yeah, go there grow keke na yaba. Yeah, group stages here kwa basi here. Into me kwaji eni e.
See a Brazil team we hoy. Enya Brazil team bia ehu. Debi. Nka breni nie sa Black Stars betimi ahia Brazil na nka ayere ye ho.
Openyi.
Na mum menye me Black Stars ntutu ni saa.
Oh Biggie. Say Brazil share anya news.
And our friendly thing can
you friendly in Brazil share.
Nka de be gibia yen share ho.
Oh. Me crown the experience of Ghanaians, going to face Ghanaians, I mean the supporters.
Yeah.
Ebenya kwenya akwa hwebo ni bi kra na me na manage ho.
Sure.
What is me opportunities am Ghana for.
And they are very
until me pe say omo empe ka Brazil the NGF for the word. No mo kwaje.
Kanya bad cry.
What I say?
Kanya bad.
Maybe omo ye late me say ho kira omo say na Argentina epe Africa country abon wo China was our game eventually organizers they cancel it. Then Argentina, Ghana, Nigeria na country no mako born wo China. That's our line is also cancel. So when they meet here now so me source direct from there pa na me no kasa.
Omonye ne fast no mo kwajima.
Kenya bad kra what I say. Nanka ye jaima bia BYT na wako Kenya bad no wako UK. So beba.
Oh beba.
Eno no nza.
Oh beba.
He said yeah. As I say nkofo no omutimi nanti mo bebre uhuza.
Very necessary.
When him say transfer news for a year. Clubs now topless Sisiano. Biggie. Almost assets now. Players are aba in young farm or flop. West transfers. Assets now. Goalkeeper Emerson, West Ham. Milos Kekes, Liverpool. Joel Hato, and then Malik Tiao, and then Ronaldo. Douglas Luiz Albad, Nottingham. Leslie Ogochuku, Chelsea for Dometrashi, Banleaf. Flowing Faith, Ekahubi. Enim Hono. Benjamin Sheshko, Man U, and the Chelsea wingers, Jamie Giddens, and Alejandro Garnacho. Almost say as at today, transfers are a fire, or never never fire in him. But the end fire no, opening and so soon at that television, so no. But men kabako so sonka. For Hurricane, mammy. Next Hurricane. Oh, for the man you just started opening, Biggie. If I turn on,
no wife. Wow.
Oze no wife.
Papa.
See,
you are Manchester Jesse no wife.
No wife, pa.
I change the pictures. I'm hunina.
Sir, when and wife, pa.
Papa. Okay, Bobo, what team FIFA brepa na wife is here? Not an wife. Because we action picture. No, Bobo. No wife.
That's ye, Biggie. Now saying Hurricane stories about pa. It be susu say, dear, a person will achieve or buy munchi in a year. Best abaninchi, no be here over England. In time of keke cancer be to the extent and send I'm forced to so back to Tottenham because Tottenham for buyback clause, first refusal, contracts in him. Emma eventually I'm going to Thomas Frank. Emma Thomas Frank say, why in your Hurricane a umpe? Into Hurricane cast over Tottenham back on Bessan Swag. And now I'm going to Max Abel, buy Munch in Penny say, Hurricane, I bet to us so I'm a buy Munch and also, Onyanka Hurricane, every year in football, no, Germany. Into as someone, I say, Hurricane Beko, as a bet now, Obi a new Hurricane decision. And then Sancho for Kobisa Ben Jacobs, on say Ben Jacobs, so dear. Omom ye credible pa.
Yeah.
On one any place nam. Ben Jacobs say, so what says a man you any Hurricane in common asorea or say and tonkone. And men to say story in tonkone because a possible. It sounds Hurricane. Our release clause after World Cup, 75 million. And the man you for so epeno into omo dwen ho nti eno so possible pa and then shasi fi ha na move on to the next story me pa cho wo bam sisi a
okay
me hu se sisi a Madrid for eno am yi stadium na kire say omo kire Bernabeu Santiago Bernabeu nti no omo twem se omo guso omo kire wi ana na omo guso omo ye hu adwuma nti sei na yanko bigi na wo kan wase
Kwaku ade ba ko ne say players na mamen share from players now my flop no and now say transfer news for a report to say omo aye flop
see
so
as now
yes
e bit me so china obi be pick form
of course I feel say too early yes kwaku menu mienu ball na ye di akire no e wo say nyanti ase na say yenim ye ti ase that say player making move factors bebre and a player no and processes bebre and also go through to get to the best of form inti player ne ba ehia break aka ansa na modern man no bo ni team na owo mu no watimi aba baby a waba sisia na baba be dan na di but in 2040 to every an exception inti binum wo hono mo a sa adaptation period any process na binum ba o mo fam na o mo bre ansa na o mo adapt no ye obi so ho no de oba na instantly no hit the ground running saf one wo inti se saf one de aya na o muti de ye and na nema konkan e de mo bi ti se hugo ekitike is part of those players at this season omo make move about Premier League na instantly o hit the ground running na nema konkan de mo obi ti se Christian Mosquera and then at the Premier League no he's been an instant hit instant impact and o make e Arsenal and so ebo bokonim but e binum so be hia time and omo be hia time na me gidi say ye tag omo as flop no enti yenya abotre kaka e too early say ya bobe e bia 6 matches into the season 5 matches into the season na ye de ani ba be si players bi so say omo ntimi perform ye omo mode mo nkonkan debi found sika ye dia top players ni mu bi obi ti say bia Florent Vets obi ti say Sesco and other players no I feel say they still need a bit of time
so
but they be so careful
but wait they need they need time
sure,
understandable but squad you know are they right
I think they be no hono ma me omo nya adwen
sir
yes obi ti say Garnacho ko Garnacho ko Chelsea of course but the limited time Garnacho and the performance in your bad o a time na on share dan nyam mo bebre
okay
the performance in your bad na Newcastle for no Malik Tiao no more hwese be fa
no more hwese be fa o
any akampai bo
Tiao
Malik Tiao we similar ball ben na no boy broso
ono kra no senia ne din ba system ni me nti o mase o na ba ese Bayern Munich for pe no na Bayer Leverkusen for pe no Tiao hey
Malik Tiao da hweru AC Milan no football e betimi abase bi camp a few weekend equal na Obaba be the best defender in English Premier League ni mo you can only be hopeful say bibi sa be kodi ama Branton but Malik Tiao kwaku enye player meka say na wabobo bi abro adwen nti ase so e wo AC Milan but all these players enya abotre too early in the season and you know anything can happen every time here kwaku Harry Kane minim team wo wiase a oso onya player ne mo de mo konkan a ompe team bi e wo wiase bia no enja player onim ball ne bo a me gidi so obepe pa so on sa player ne be ye adwuma Harry Kane asia kan wo English Premier League ni mo akan na wasi wo English Premier League ni mo no ye hu ne performance the last season he played in the Premier League and sana ofi mo join Bayern Munich or share 30 goals in the Premier League and dem are Tottenham boko no after playing 38 matches ofi ono kokko join Bayern Munich okko Bayern Munich in the first season in the Bundesliga kwaku he played 32 matches and scored 36 goals just imagine 32 matches scored 36 goals in the first season in the Bundesliga anymore. Last season was in the second season about 31 games and on share 26 goals. He's a striker over the years. Where in the last 3 seasons performance in Amakenyo. But for the past 10 seasons in football, Ope one of the players who are consistent power with their form and goal scoring former. Untimi monyi Harry Kane in film. He's a striker. Obia nyanoa. Ope. Look at team Awosia kind of Bayern Munich publicly, openly, omaka. So enforce after the World Cup, there is a release clause. Ewa brand any contract mono. Omunya ya na nkomu keep no. Because of the model. Manchester United baby omujina says here he have striker and number 9. Oye proven. Now Manchester United in the first place Ankasa made a very big mistake. Kwaku. One of the biggest mistakes at Manchester United are yeah. Recently. And they say United tena sema Harry Kane call Bayern Munich. Harry Kane as a striker. You name the English players. Kwaku maybe a chamuna. Nanka Harry Kane baba babisia kama Manchester United.
Facts.
During the days of Sir Alex Ferguson. So that time no na Arsenal best player Robin van Persie number 9. Na Manchester United akọ ye peno. Na United akọ fa no de na ba.
No kra be peso be bo.
That is why I'm saying say United made a very big mistake because maybe a chamuna. Nanka sa players when Manchester United fa.
So let's go back to Harry Kane and know what Tottenham no. That time no Man City call home. And some of them signing Erling Haaland no.
Yeah.
City were very close. Very, very close. And I knew because of Oyaye Nim, Daniel Levins and Sembe Bray. And a man you so dear no. E call home. And again, the enemy say, almost I am focus Harry Tottenham the open a player on Tom Mount San in Subain City where they say Chelsea never come because maybe Chelsea so call home. Because Ukuta Usika saying Krana, you don't expect to go to Daniel Levin or Tom Plan India when it Obebre and India suffering Obebre cry. Into me and which
yeah.
Into clubs and idea, Omina bound. But let me sure pass say if Manchester United had pushed come benya. And now is it that Namufu say boy don't pay Manchester United ambitions and
who possible. Baby, I know Manchester United about Bobby Bruno. And also Harry Kane as a player, as a striker. Baby, I know okay Konwa. With no disrespect to my Manchester United. No clear woman say at that time, not the level of Manchester United, ne Tottenham, na Gabanenwa.
Okay.
It is a Harry Kane above Brani be Tottenham. Na ope team, obekum, team ni be buana managing kurua, team ni be buano, amanenya Lorios, na ni mo ye do. A change said you're not here Tottenham na. A bad thing said no be choose Manchester United. Until me assure say United for nankasa show mo. No more player no more kwa pa. No mo nim say ebia na amfa. Okay. Ya ko party ama brebi afrege bi da. Girl ne sorry ye na. I say na boys ni say I say there be we dey amfa. Emma lady ne buy no say oh. Ba mpacho na wo frem no say me pacho dey nya hwe kotena se. Na actually no say oh brother o say mama minyan kan batemfa.
Ade niam egu akiri.
Se na ote ho. Sorry ye no hu se da bia panyini nam.
Nam na egu akiri.
Niam na egu na chi no ontimi handle.
Ene de udi agra uti bete.
Yes. Inti ye panyini nam. Inti onakra mpompe.
Eye eno nam bi wo ho a senior man nam a.
There na boys na say wa ba na di o say debi. Minyan kan batemfa.
Udi agra obeti ATL. We ACL no eso beti.
Se wo hu. I am sure that was the situation of Manchester United. Because no sure baby Harry Kane kika kona. Tottenham no onje she. Enti obe person make a move away from Tottenham. Obe ko baby obe je bibi. Because onyini ne career na ekona nim. Enti ontimi ntina baby onyin kuru asa. Enti me sure say Man United empanyi for na tena se na omo hwe omo ho a. Omo hwe team ne baby e wona. Omo feel say ye kwa player no. Baby, I want a better day so beba because a more or less like baby all balance so no a better day so better day
right
or beji bibi into any more monko. But I feel say the medical cano it is a decision. Manchester United take ya na a bad. At least Ebian can approach here. If you want to watch you say M4 but okay and so Ebi kwanan kebe nan kebefa. So realizing it now in your late there is Cesco no credit. Afei na ye hwese niema be pikiama no Manchester United.
This is another conversation I would want to ask you say once Harry Kane fan say Manchester decided say Harry Kane or Peno Harry Kane decided so beba once he steps foot, stalling the development of Benjamin Sesko.
Kwaku,
No swear, because you cannot play these two players together.
of course.
But, and also now
Harry Kane in Fieno. Harry Kane is 32 years.
Oh, more years to play. Oh. Lewandowski did 37 or more.
Kwaku, individual difference.
But Harry Kane is still a strong goal.
There is nothing that shows say Harry Kane. To say the and there's nothing that shows say Oba stopping any moment from now.
Very well.
So
because even at his age, Biggie, or more bobola. See dropping bam fin be for born. Not just say on go you.
Of course, energy no energy levels no doubt. But the player was 32 years. You can only assume say the football years are on the
3 years.
Yes.
Okay.
All
right.
3 years in the season year ye boy kwaku eka ho. O we season we are after the World Cup yem fan say be 2 years. Benjamin Sesko age is saying. He's around 23 or so. So 22 or 22. If my memory serves me right. He's still a younger player. And at that time, Harry Kane age, let's look at how Barcelona is using Robert Lewandowski now. He's up there, or your top striker. Yes, Obia Jitum. But because of whom Fienintino, and your games be an ebe more idea be. Ababa. Into Manchester United at that time, every time you see Harry Kane in that way.
Okay.
I beboa. Na Sesko Nanka Santos no understand an experienced striker. What's your name, my dear friend?
When you say 3 years now, working. What's not buying Munch now? Obama na botebiao. Into dainty. And I'm feeling buy Munch in bets na Manchester United. Now, one year to say your walk. Because you Harry Kane on upper goal. So the only thing that will entice him, say, I'm back to England. I say, I'll be to me a Alan Shearer and he goes.
Of course.
That is the only thing. Because buy Munch in hot on or horses here. And Jessica, no, you're okay. Into every goals now. Open and a bit me enticing. Now, Obama Baba say goaler. On Osmonsa got Benjamin Sesko. It is a open one. Then no say Benjamin Sesko no na brabo no be cutting off.
Oh, there be.
And then the munya
We can blend the two.
Hey, see that what the Harry Kane ni Baba blend Benjamin Sesko.
Of course.
And
anything that make us
say as a club.
Oh, I some na ba o. You say you. Asam na ba. And you pay the pubesi say you say Sesko. Kokwe na Sesko ba na apeke. And Sesko bo goals. And you get to see the Haaland this year. Me just sure say the Harry Kane conversation about table na so.
Kema.
So but about table that will because the striker Manchester United went in for. It's not playing as expected.
No mwana sana there. Okay.
Ebe
Ache. Liverpool focus so omo extend. Omo extend real ngomu contract amano. And Troy Inyomi so omo extend e di amante kwada no omo secure omo mienu. Enti ngomu I extend and Inyoni bo we me penasa bruta Inyoni no oni bo no bopa and hone emfiamfia ba bo no obopa papa enti I think say a good news said man Liverpool. Meanwhile still Konate die no ibienu aba me kra max say Liverpool for 18 komo about Dio Upamecano say Konate still na do be ya no be dia na bia komo afechi so I na Dio Upamecano ko bi sana slot say Champions League nie open the here. And I say very difficult for him to choose. No say trophy back wa bon pies one day on be a Champions League one. And
I thought what you see.
Also difficult but actually over we interview no say Champions League ne dia wa da so ho da pa.
Kwagu no kre e wo wi ase e ba ko pe. The Champions League is more prestigious than any trophy in Europe or in European club football. Mamen Kanasa. Seba club football Europe. The biggest of it all. ASL Champions League. Last season, a woman say Liverpool at the Champions League. But last season, and slots by Ocean the modern more dine idea. You both group stages of the Champions League. Team and people be a few say possible. Are likely to be me the Champions League? Liverpool and slot. Until at a point during the season. Now Liverpool supporters then had any treble home come. So Bekaya. Liverpool budget treble. Liverpool budget treble. Trophy be a budget just because Bona no more Bono. They kept growing in confidence.
Very well.
Fortunately or unfortunately, after the group stages of the Champions League, and I'm going to Paris Saint-Germain. And Paris Saint-Germain, you are free. And slot, et waso, Eko Gini League. What G League in every year? You will a new season. Se see and slot and Kasa as a coach. Kwaku, so was saying Babaji the English Premier League, why are there? So what Jimmy you know the atwaso. Name mum. May you sure say and slot in your ancestor cope. Insist in the sense say, want to mean near Benquine the Bia, or how was what in Kakraba could be pum. It is what Babaji League last season. This season, Obe Peso Benyan Quine for now the Afra and the Champions League, you know, in European club football, the chain Quine Bia. On one Casa as a coach, he knows it. The players, they know it. Player be over Europe, our club football, Biana. Name Pi Bonus over to me as a Champions League. To date, there are a lot of great players at Champions League, no more to me and GB. And in every opportunity, on Benya Granty interview, Bia, our mobile club football, home common Champions League in Comobiano, Omoka. Sadia Bakwe be a yapa and say, meant to me and the Champions League. It tells how prestigious the Champions League is. True. Into onslaught in your league now, Obeje, but this season, so what Trough will be on the focusing attention because he should focus on the Champions League. And remember what you do when he wins it.
A bedroom maybe say, come out with this Liverpool so be sa. Ne means say leg no ankasa no obeyi na dwen fi so kakra wo.
Kwaku say it depends on how you are going to do the two. But a do time will be our own. We show interest. Interest na wo no. No show performance. And he for now share likely say what the attention kwa be boa. So we me focus on nimi enu nyina, nimi ensa nyina. Then you focus on it. Now waje. So we say Paris Saint-Germain, me fanya example. Men disrespect clubs or French league animal. But Paris Saint-Germain quality ne kita no. Me sure say last season Obo league ne kakra bi Ashase Champions League na enkonkan. But league ni they still so they were winning.
Yeah, they were winning. Yeah.
Until domestically. Omo hu so omo ye strong, but continentally e na problem ne wo. Enti time I Ashase say pick ya omo bo Manchester City. Omo ko used to get film any ade e wo Champions League ni na. Omo benya agidie say afei de ye yire ho e betimi abo no. Me sure say ordin attention ko Champions League ni so. League no any French cup no e ba be ye bonus. But the three pa de no who say ball na obo na fe opushi wa Champions League ni mu e be fa.
No correct.
It is say boko a trophy ye likely to betimi agene kwaku eno abehya ase yi ne ho.
We give me a sure say Paris Saint-Germain's the example that you gave. Makube mu pa minim say a colleague nko anka PG Fontis kan ko to Kiwicha Kwarashkali amma. Se colleague nko anka Dembele omu ko fa no ma
Debi
in case place no masambo no 50% in community is can ko form.
We say kin anka sakran ko mfa no.
That's it. But I think say PG for no e wa advantage kakra. Because of the competition on Bobo no wom no.
Which is the French league.
With the French league. Because by February me sure makuma by February no on beji league omunim.
Yeah.
Then they can rotate and concentrate on the league,
On the
Champions League. Meanwhile, clubs never Premier League no. No sir. February match unim the echo league anymore. Inti was star players what they bought league no now what they bought Champions League. Which makes winning the Champions League, if you are in the Premiership or other leagues, na La Liga, money other, it makes it extremely difficult compared to Paris Saint-Germain for the N1. Because last year, it will maybe PG for na league no ma jewie. O omo ball league na no ma to ma dwumu kra. Sa time no kra no na omo league no so favor omo timi omo matches no post money de ma omo.
Yeah.
So the entire league wanted Paris Saint-Germain to win it. Me can't see so they say Premiership, winning double league plus Champions League. Eddie. No, it's very difficult.
Eddie, me know you're doing.
It's very difficult.
Me know you're doing.
They can't go and slot the no.
Sure.
Say, Charlie. Say, would when you see Barca swa. Chairman say Champions League. No man any free league na. Not Champions League na amfa. On say, let's just one missing maybe because me no can say you know. Watch him 5 points to a league anymore. Or the advantage of winning the league. But if he turns out from his conversation, he say Champions League, and say I feel all better targets. It told the say Champions League, it means to say he might, and the word is might lose concentration on the league. Inti so jai league anymore. Na Champions League no so kwate faswa asamwato.
Me know you are doing. That is why I was saying say o boko no ano. Baby ye likely say obetimi anya no. Kwaku eno abeyi ne ho. So wo eno abe de be. Ebeyi ne ho. Enso e de ama why de be wo.
Yeah.
And my reason for saying is I also putting more premium on the Champions League, you know. Say should Liverpool not win the league? Me not sure say be a problem because just last season they won it.
Okay.
Minimum what me point.
I don't come on as
if he winning it in his first season or they are calming nerves, at least he's a good manager. It is a Kobasa this season when Timmy and the league in poor. Based on the year last season, no, I'm a Liverpool supporters new GDO anymore. So he's going to get another chance to win the league. But Champions League need a opportunity neba now one grab it and capitalize on that. Now one year. The Champions League na year danger league.
Be realistically, young Monko baby Liverpool team no. No shade your mu yesisi no. Realistically, Champions League no more good shout.
Yes.
Biggie. Sir.
Yes. See, I'll be time to me my favorite for winning the Champions League. Maybe Paris Saint-Germain first.
Okay.
Based on performance on my diner the last year. And then the consistency in the team.
The core of the team is there.
Yes.
The answer sign.
Change sign. I'm gonna make you first.
Maybe a goalkeeper and a pet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Liverpool, a problem, say they need some level of consistency and games to understand each other. Playing body, no. Se Liverpool nya saa de na akwaku no anu no.
Okay.
Wo de hwe players no mu free Liverpool bobo ko nim no. Ene o mo de be replace ye no. The only idea aka understand the cohesion. They replaced quality with quality. That is the Liverpool situation. It's the idea aka na say omo beti omo ho ase.
Yeah.
Na ebe fa e de ayre ben. E de ama omo. And aside that, say Champions League no we PSG fi won makwaku. Team am metimi aboni din so obe get close. Me Barcelona. Yes. Barcelona also so problem no. Eye ba akope. It is in their central defense because of Inigo Martinez.
And it's still now also more competitive.
Yes. Because of the consistency in the playing body and the technical team. Sadia no. Any experience of the coach. Sadia any team sini bebre any. Real Madrid. Xabi Alonso is playing well. But Obi Sam say me need you so betimi age Champions League me mboni din.
Anyone pressure, no pressure.
He's a new manager, a young one. Real Madrid bobo konim. Obi has some sort of consistency.
Yeah.
Sadia the same thing applies to Bayern Munich. They have a very good team. But me who company so was high experience no.
By Charlie. Bayern Munich okay.
That is why I said they have a very good team.
Company.
But the coach has to convince us.
I get you. Say group stages they obey me asheshe.
Oh yes.
Nemom say be a quarter finals be. Na second league be a obey here coach taxes substitutions. I want to be say visa obey me aside. Okay.
So
okay.
But Liverpool there no. And sorry to use this word, not Onyobia. But at least the obey in the last season, I'm a man for us so much benekaka. It's the team the quality ne no. Any onslaught tactical prowess are here no. Could you hear any players the benya understanding no? So munya the Liverpool team is okay. And the league no more bono. Me assure us almost boko any mukaka. Understand the name by an M5 and impono. So grind the results so one grind you. That is what big teams do. Or by J points and with that consistency domestically, a bit me have build your momentum. I'm on with the Aqua Champions League.
Interesting. Champions League in the year and I feel so no Champions League who been here but ain't here be breed to say more pe Ballon d'Or agino and yeah more pe Ballon d'Or agino. Now start team no World Cup be here more a chain Champions League you know and be reasons one here Misro World Cup maybe be do on a place and be pretty proud because games no door so
and the old don't know about Tanachi. Because football in the planet there. Boom. Boom.
I used to say a come with me. I'm just
I did be white in here, Yinana.
And a Germany infections. Boom, baby. And you know,
so to Kruboni Mudia.
Sa
be over.
A run idiot.
Oh.
Obetiti bebre.
Obefadi.
The bia na unumundru. The bia na unumundru.
The bia na unumundru. As obi seresa.
Apim obi o.
As obi seresa.
Asem ye kind apim Kofi blessing.
Be the minim no but as was seresa minim.
Bia infections nko a wa medru sa.
E do say me the minim say bika wanyaska bi.
Apim no. Hey. Biggie. Ye be kwade yes, sell elements no so far go out down training grounds for no.
Unu be bia here ni go na pa. Ngogu.
Dey here.
Old Trafford.
Sir.
Nya current. Current records yen kipi. See our season here able Premier League no. Why na best goalkeeper per matches I have so far? David Raya. Okay, say the saves no in training grounds.
There be one yen was
no matches mu. E wo Emirates. Inti e hono na Manchester United in here San Lama. Onya akonya na obegina Old Trafford a. On chair supporters ni wiase de inti aye to no. E hono na e beka, why saves say. Why saves say, or long balls say. Why say, why recovery say, the area dwells say. Na ye di ho komo. Training grounds at the end, you're recording fan carry.
Maybe be so awesome. Early kickoff. Brentford, Man U. Bibisa say. Knowing Brentford for saying we see ball, long balls, throw in, corner, set pieces, pimp, no. Would you want to risk sending Le Mans a game way mo?
Koku, I wouldn't call it a risk. He has to be in the goalpost.
Hey, Biggie.
Yes.
Brentford for ball the
Koku,
goalkeepers and Kessia crab bro.
Against Manchester City. Nothing Lamay available. Wanda.
No risk.
By in then die. Against Chelsea. Nothing Lamay available. Wanda. By in then die. And this usuru. So be risking against Manchester City because a big team. Ebia nanim go asia kwakoba. Usuru so be risking against Chelsea because a big team e Premier League dem. Enti ebia nanim go asia kwakoba. Akwaku na Brentford so usuru. And your match ben na obemanada.
After Brentford, Man U bet Sniffy. No about Sunderland. I don't know Manada.
Debbie. He has to pick the experience from an away game.
Hey,
Old Trafford pressure.
The grounds be Biggie. Oh, Kogun when you was.
Oh,
and no Robert Sanchez Kogun when you was. I said, what dear? Kane, Biggie. I want dear.
Away, what are
you? Brentford for whom?
No, so Brentford for whom now. Over to me at the Old Trafford.
And so on Sunderland. No, Bono or they are picking the free.
That game never saw that. In any case. By in there now, order. What extraordinary performance does he put up?
Try to.
It is what to goalkeeper, but so goalkeepers and yet. Who the neighbor be replace you? No, but now sign shows out the on so better. Then you the neighbor be heading.
Kakra.
The big kwaku. I was so about no them. On no necessary that Brentford game no.
Okay. Yeah, prepare for your next video. Basis yeah. Inti nyako pa onka ho no nhyira so gu so a wo hwe wo enjoy B.
Kwaku.
God bless you.
God bless you too, bro.
Bye-bye.